250. So if you want to use that extra 250 to retain full day kindergarten or something else.
For build reserves.
Right, you can do that because by using the 1.5, one of the comments that I made was that that has a shelf life shorter than what we originally did last fall when we went for 2.5, because that was supposed to be an 8 to 10 year solution. Now we're looking at something much shorter, okay? We're looking at something probably 5 years max, with 1.25, but it gets us through, and lots of things happen and change. And there's a saying in school finance that, you plan out 5 years. If you can make that work, then you plan out another 5 and another 5. And now that you're on top of what's going on, maybe that works. Other questions?
So are you for sure putting the question on the ballot for what he showed us that's going on?
I'm not sure of anything.
Well,
The other committee had the recommendation. This committee will make a recommendation to the board. I believe the board has a meeting tomorrow night to discuss all the options in a sense, and then we're going to come back and have a special meeting the following Monday to make a decision. So what the overall.
Tuesday, the attorney said we actually make the vote on 17th.
Right.
Oh, we could? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we verified with 2 separate
You won't
attorneys.
need 2 meetings.
So on the 17th, you can actually have.
So on the 17th, then we'll go over, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to give the whole board what the 2 committees reported, and for the board to digest what they need to digest in a sense, and then at our next board meeting after that, we will make a decision based on that. And so, we're just early three out of the 4, out of the 7 that are on the board. So this is all. That's why it was all important to get all these meetings together in a sense too, so it could align everything, so we could make the final decision. And we're going to be making it on the last day.
And the other question I have is, last time when we met, Patty Mann had asked about the cost of grade centers.
Yes, 60 grand.
Oh, that's
It's
the
a
that's it.
maybe. It's a per architect.
For the architect, he can probably invite the same meeting to the other group.
Yeah.
That question was asked there too. So, yeah.
Keep in mind, the superintendent's task force focused, they agreed on 3 things. Number 1, they want to maximize, the maximum amount of support was for a cumulative amount that could be no greater than 500 on a $250,000 home. I believe the average in Norridge is actually less than 250.
No, it's somewhere between 250 and 313, depending on the neighborhood area within Norwood Township. When I
But what
looked
they
at-
use is the marker is the 215.
Right.
The second thing is they believe that they want to maximize the opportunity for people to choose at the ballot box. So they want 2 separate ballot boxes. Because some people may vote no for both because they can't afford both. Some people may vote for 1. Some people may vote for 2. But it just gives them more options than they had before. It's either one or the other on the previous ballot. This gives them options. And the third thing is they want the minimum amount for both questions. So it's the minimum amount.
It still works.
Yeah.
Within our scheme.
It still works within our schemes. Our options had anywhere from 2 million, 2.5, then it goes 2, then it goes 1.75, then it goes 1.5, then it goes 1.25. The only problem that when you introduce the lower numbers below 2 is there are permanent cuts that are associated. So if it's the 1.75, it's a permanent cut of 250. If it's a 1.5, it's a permanent cut of 200. And if it's a 1.25, it's a permanent cut
Or
of
it just doesn't quite last as
750.
long.
Yes. Plus, it doesn't last as long from the previous document that was provided to this committee. But I just want to give that as a reminder that they've set a parameter for us. So they've helped us to create a framework in which we are to work here tonight. So I just want to be very clear, because Craig did a good job of opening up with that. But I know that you walked in a little late, so I wanted you to basically hear that that's what they felt was important. And it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
How many people were, just for a ballpark, how many people attended?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't give you a number. I'd say it's anywhere from 20 to 30 people that were in attendance. And so.
It was a good variety, though.
Oh, it was a good, yeah,
We had
exactly.
several seniors, and we had several people with kids in the school, and some that didn't. So I thought we got some good input, to be honest.
Yeah, we heard some good opinions. And both meetings were different. So we had different people at the first meeting that nevertheless, it was a good array of perspectives that we never thought about. And I think one of the big things that I came away from is that, and I think a really smart person said this, one of the things they said that you go with the lowest, your chances of having a win are higher. Because we want to win. We need some momentum. And as I look back at a lot of my board meetings, I had people that were literally taking their fingers. Remember this? Can you just decrease it a little bit? I don't know what this number means, but I'm assuming this means the lowest that may be available with respect to the applicant. And so that came out very clearly, and something I've never thought of before. So I just want to put that in perspective.
I mean, the important thing this evening to get the board parameters is not what happens if it passes, because that's a different ballgame. It can be decided by a board. It's what happens if it doesn't. So which of the options, because we need to be able to communicate that to the public this time, because we're down to the final wire. And remember that, just for perspective purposes, if either of these fail, the next time that we can do this is a year from now. There's no opportunity this fall at all. So we'll be planning whatever for, it's March, I think, in 18, correct?
That's correct.
That's the next time that any question can be put on the ballot. So, and everybody needs to be real clear, you know, this is what we're gonna do.
So if we went with scenario 4, would there be a change or 5 rather, would there be a change in the bell and the actual school day?
There's potential for that, yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, not with scenario 4. I said both, I put them
Okay.
together, but
Thanks.
really I guess it's more
Okay.
for scenario 4. 5, yes, for 4, would there need to be?
Yeah.
So, Dr. Shelley, just to clarify, so let's just assume we choose option number 4, and we go through this budget and we stick to it. We're gonna be good 4 to 6 years, let's call it 5 years, just for the sake of math purposes. Then we're gonna be faced again with another opportunity to try to cut and be more efficient. So why add an extra step to the option that eventually we're going to have to be more efficient? And so isn't the most efficient option is number 5? It is the most difficult, it's the hardest, but isn't it the most efficient in cost savings?
Well,
I felt just because it's efficient doesn't mean it's something that we should jump into when no one's even aware we're discussing this option. And we're gonna blindside people with something that is gonna be like truly, like probably the most extreme thing that could possibly happen to people, this is gonna be it. So to say, I mean, just because it's gonna save it for the long term, and people didn't like us like waiting and then just trying to go for a referendum for a lot of money at one point. I think throwing something like that was doing grade centers at one point might not be the answer either. I think, you know, let's get some money and then start planning, and if it's gonna end up having to go to grade centers, if that's what it's gonna have to be, then let's take our time and do it right and not jump into something when, I mean, I don't think it's something that can be done in a couple of months, or should be done in a couple of months, especially when it's never ever been talked about. People have no idea this is going on.
To answer your question, first, I'll answer it in several parts, okay? The first thing is that what I heard from the other meeting, and was thinking of the transference here, was reduce the number of distractors. We don't know what those distractors were from the last election. Was it because we did a single school instead of leaving it at 2? Was it too much money? Was it a single question? So what the other group said is, first of all, we're gonna try and get rid of the too much money. We're gonna make it reasonable, the lowest amount we can do and still put the district back into financial stead. We're gonna make 2 questions so they can have the options of choosing each one, and they know specifically then exactly what they're getting for each one. So I don't know, to come out and say that you're going to do, I think that 5 would be a distractor right now without going through those processes. I'm thinking. Because the other thing is, which I don't think we have the answer to, is if we have to do more, which would people actually choose? Because the difference between 4 and 5, you could just eliminate those 3 programs. If the community said, the most important thing to us is not band, it's not world language, those 2 schools, you could just eliminate those 2 and it's the same dollar savings. I mean, if that's really what somebody went through and did a study, and if they said, no, that's not what we really want, we want to keep those programs and we want to, you know, we're willing to go that, well, that's another determination. So I'm just giving you the sense. Once you do 5, you're done. You do 4, you can move into 5. If you feel like, I think if it fails, you don't have a choice but to do 5 next year regardless. Because you already, if it doesn't pass next year, 5's in. I mean, you don't have any other choice. Because you need what, probably $1.5 million, and the list only goes up to about 900, so you're looking for 600,000 more than that.
Mhm.
So it's a fait accompli. What happens in 18 when it doesn't pass? I can't answer, you know, what we should do, but I just don't know what's more of a priority.
Well, we can do a weight by difference, I think. Can you go back 1 slide, if you don't mind? Sure. So I think this in my mind gives a better depiction, because I'm pretty certain that number 3 is not an option. How many people at this table believe that option 3 is not an option, which in my opinion is no decision? So if we make no decision tonight, we have to default with number 3. So like I said, so no decision, we basically decided that scenario 3 is applicable. That's what I'm hearing?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
If you don't make a decision, we default to option number 3. Do you believe option number 3 is an option for us to recommend for the board tomorrow night? I don't believe so. Because no decision is defaulting to our original proposal. So you default to it. So basically, if we sit here and say, we're not gonna raise our hand, we're not gonna make a decision, we're not gonna have intestinal fortitude, in my opinion, then my recommendation will say, let's just go with number 3. And I just don't think that's, to me, that's not a wise decision. That's not what I'm hearing from some of the elected officials or people from last night. They believe in world language, they believe in band. And so when I look at this list, your options are very limited. And the savings for 1, 2, and 3 are much less than the savings for 4 and 5. And so I guess what I'm trying to articulate is, we're really down to 2 options that we could recommend to the board, 4 and 5.
Does everybody believe that?
Okay, so then,
I'm not saying it's 4, you're saying that you think there's another option besides 4 and 5?
I still have a hard time wrapping my head around of going back against everything that we've been going through 39 or whatever
Mhm.
presentation.
Which is do 3 then?
Yeah, even 3 wasn't really the thing, it was that we could never decide between band and real language, which
Right.
is why all of them were put on there.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
I know in my opinion, I could decide on, but, I mean,
Okay.
so.
That's fair.
I mean, it wasn't to get rid of all of them, it was to get rid of one or the